Hello everybody. Today's lesson is going to be how to make a little character called a worry doll or a worry hero or a worry friend, however you want to see the little character that you create. I'd like to give a really big shout out to Year 6 because this might be the last video lesson that I do for you for a while. And this is to fit in with your topic about the Mayan civilization. So these are some worry dolls or worry characters that have been made by Year 6 in a different school. And you can see how all of them look really different and really individual. That one's got a really funny face with its tongue sticking out. That one's got a very cross or worried expression. That one's got glasses on. But they're all done in basically the same way, using a peg and a pipe cleaner and then using some yarn to wrap. So one of the things that I used to do when I was little is we used to have these pegs, these kind of pegs for the washing line, and I used to often make myself little characters out of them and tell stories with them. So I might make 3 bears with them, or I might make Cinderella, and I just get like odd bits of yarn and just create different characters, so they can be really quite interesting to do and quite good fun. So what you will need for this project is you will need what you've got in your pack. If you're doing it at home and at school, you will need a peg, you will need a glue stick, you'll need some scissors, you'll need some different coloured yarn. You might want like hair coloured yarn for the hair and bright colours for the clothes. You'll need a pipe cleaner and you'll need some felt pens to add the face details. So that's what we need. So how did these characters come about? Well, it all started a very long time ago. I think maybe more than 2,000 years before Christ, when the Mayan civilization was at its height. There was a very famous princess, a Mayan princess, called Princess, let me see if I can say this right, Ixmucane. Princess Ixmucane. And she was a very special princess, and she wasn't much older than you. She was quite young, but she was given a special gift from the sun god that allowed her to solve any problem that humans could worry about. And what she did was she came up with the idea of creating little characters so that human people could tell their worries to, and their worries would be taken away. And these were called, let me try this, Muñecas Quitapinas. Muñecas Quitapinas. And that's, Muñecas is doll and Quitapinas means worry doll. So worry doll. And you can still get worry dolls now, even all this time later. So I know you've been learning about fair trade as well. So these are produced in Guatemala, handmade dolls that are created for people to have, or handmade characters. And when you think about the fact that such a long, long time ago, the princess decided that this was a really good thing to do to help take away people's worries, and we're still doing it now, it shows you that it's actually a really good idea. That when you've got something that you're worried about or frightened about or concerned about, when you go to bed, it's really hard to sleep because those worries are there on your mind. So if you can talk to somebody about it, or maybe say a prayer about it, or speak to a parent, and if you can't do any of that, if you pick up your little character and you say to them, well, I'm worried about this and I'm worried about that, then by saying it out loud and saying it to somebody or saying it to your little character, it takes the worries away for the moment so that you can let the worries go because somebody else has taken them on and you can go to sleep. So that's the reason why even now they're still really commonly used. So to make your little character, you need to get your peg and take your pipe cleaner and feed it through. I've got a different peg to the ones you've got. This is harder to get through. So you push it, in fact, And I'm sure it's possible to do it eventually. You push it up to there. And then if you think this is the head, so these are going to be the shoulders, these are going to be the arms. They need to be a lot higher up. They need to be about there because your arms come off your shoulders. So once you've got that there, if you've got some sellotape, you can just wrap some sellotape. You can wrap some sellotape around it, which will hold it in place. But before you wrap the sellotape around, you need to make sure that you've got the arms the right way around. So if you look where the peg divides, that's going to be the legs of your character. So here's one that I made earlier. And you see the legs need to be in that position and the arms in that position. Otherwise, your character would look a bit wonky. So at the moment, the arms are there and the legs are around here. So we need to twist it round so that the legs are there in the front. And then twiddle that around. Lift the arms up like that. Maybe I've done that wrong. Let's try again. Yeah, that's okay. So the arms are there up near the shoulders. And if you do have some sellotape, you can wrap it around. But if you don't, it'll be fine. It'll hold in place when you put the yarn on. So we'll do that. And then you need to decide, you need to think about what is your character going to look like? Is it going to be a boy? Is it going to be a girl? Is it going to wear trousers? Is it going to have like a skirt on? And here's my little one that I did before. And I gave her trousers and a jumper and long hair. So you might want to do short hair or have a skirt. So I'm going to show you how you go ahead and wrap the yarn around. So I'm going to give mine a skirt, but if I was going to do trousers, I would have to just put the yarn in the middle there and then wrap around and go in between and go down. So you would end up like this. It's a bit like when you did your God's eyes last week, how when you wrap the yarn, you put the next bit above the bit before and the next bit above that. So I'm going to do a skirt on here. So I'm going to hold the yarn in place and wrap around it. You don't need to tie a knot because as you're wrapping, it will hold it in place. And then just wrap around until you get to where you think the trousers or the skirt would end, and you're ready to do the top part. I think that's about the right sort of place. And I'm going to keep the yarn just there. I don't need to tie it because I'm going to put the next colour over the top of it. And now I'm going to do the jumper. So I'm going to have red for my jumper. I might start about here. So I've got the end there, hold it in place and just wrap it around. When you get to the arms, you need to divide off. Just going to chop that end off. So we'll do this arm first. So you wrap around the yarn around the arm. So when you get to this stage, you need to come from the behind, the back of your doll, and then you go forward and around there. So you're sort of doing it more diagonally now to get some yarn over the shoulders. So you do that way. And then on the other side, go diagonally there. And when you're happy, you've got enough yarn and enough colour on, then chop it off and find a way to tuck it underneath or use a bit of glue. On the end. To just stick it. Whenever you glue something, you need to hold it in place for a little while so it sticks. So there, I have created the clothes for my character, and now I need to do the face and the hair. So leave the face until you've got the clothes and you know you've got exactly the right place. And then, let me find, I thought I had a black Sharpie here somewhere, but it's disappeared. I've got a black felt pen. So I'm going to draw the eyes. And I'm going to give it a smiley mouth. But you can do whatever expression you want. And like on the pictures that we saw first, if you wanted to add glasses or a worried expression, that will be fine. Now to do the hair, you're going to do really short hair. You can just use a brown felt tip pen and just colour in the top bit of your peg and draw hair on, and that works reasonably well. So that's one option. Or you can cut little bits of hair, just little short bits. If you're doing really short hair, just cut lots of little short bits like this. You should in your pack have hair colour. So just lots and lots of little bits like that. Put glue on the head and then just stick the bits on. But I'm going to show you how to do long hair. So to do long hair, you would take the hair coloured yarn, and before you start wrapping, cut yourself a piece that you will use to tie it up and leave that there. So you've got a piece there, which is going to be the bit that you tie the yarn up with. And then around your hand, wrap it round about 5 or 6 times, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 7, maybe 8. And then chop that off. And then cut it at one end. And then lay the yarn that you've cut on top of the bit that you laid out earlier. And this is where you need to practice your knot skills. So you put the 2 over the top, over each other, put that one underneath and pull. And then wrap it round again so you make, like we talked about before, like a Q shape. And put that in there and pull. And then that's a little bit long and that bit's a little bit long. You want your ends fairly even. And then you take your character, put lots of glue on the head and the back of the head. And stick the hair on. Sorry, I'm probably still going out of shot a lot. I didn't mean to. And then push it down. And then you really need to spend a little bit of time and hold it down. And there you go. And then if you wanted to, you could put the hair in plaits. You could put little ribbons on. You could add little beads onto the yarn. You can do whatever you want to. You could add shoes onto it. You can make a little stand to stand it on by using some card. So you can you could write a little story, make your worry doll into a character and write a little story about it. But there you go, that's the basic. Let me see if I can say this again. I know it's quite hard. Try again. Muñecas quitapinas. So see if you can make your little muñecas catapinas and have fun doing it. And then remember, tell your character your problems and your worries, and hopefully your worries will be taken away from you.